Unknown cats coming into a cat's territory is really stressful for cats, so you need to introduce your new cat to your resident cat or cats properly. Cat intros are complicated, so I'm breaking down each step into more manageable, digestible parts over a series of videos so you can watch each part as you're ready. Speaking of being ready, you're ready for this part once your cats have started seeing each other across the gate briefly with distractions. We're going over, in more detail, how to progress and do the bulk of the desensitization work you need to do to give your cats the best chance of success. Once your cats are able to successfully see each other very briefly, we begin desensitization to get the cats used to seeing each other more and more with a gate or screen between them. This part is generally pretty slow, as it involves gradually increasing how long the cats are seeing each other, how close they are to each other, and what they are doing. Your goal is for the cats to have neutral or positive interactions, and cut off the interactions before the cats become afraid. If you get stuck at this point, you're probably making one of a handful of mistakes. Most commonly, you're going too fast, and you need to go slower. Even without knowing your specific situation, I can tell you that most people try to do this part too quickly. This part should be boring and repetitive. You should not be excited by this. Excitement is not what we're looking for. Second, you're probably not focused on the right parts of this process. For example, a lot of people get caught up in the idea of the cats have to see each other, they have to be staring at each other, they have to look. That's part of this, but you also want the cats to learn what to do around each other when they're stressed out, and you want the cats to learn to walk away from each other. The cats looking away from each other is actually a really good thing, and so is a cat walking away. It's better to have the cats walk away from each other than to be stressed out by each other. We want them to do that if needed. It's part of why I don't recommend harnesses, playpens, or carriers for this. They stop the cat from leaving the situation if they want to. They also don't teach the cat what to do around the other cat. So unless you plan on keeping the cat in the playpen forever, which...
Please no.
Oh man, I really hope that's not your plan. It's not gonna cut it. Now, I can hear some of you typing away because I know someone is going to say, well, my cat will run at the other cat if they see them, so I have to use a playpen. The playpen isn't actually doing anything to teach the cat what to do or help them feel more calm. You may get lucky, and when they get let out, they're totally fine, or you may have the cat just bolt right at the other cat, which is the most common outcome. The cat probably needs some more work if you're relying on restraints. If you're stuck with what to do, it's worth hiring a professional to help you figure out what to do in this situation. You might also miss staring, which is not necessarily to be interpreted as curious or friendly. Honestly, if you see the cats looking at each other for 3 or more seconds, you should probably start questioning if they're uncomfortable. You'll want to redirect their attention elsewhere. Though, actually, you should be distracting and teaching your cat what to do during these meetings anyway. Don't just let them figure it out. It would be like me handing you ingredients to some sort of really complex pie and telling you to figure out how to make said really complex pie without consulting a recipe book or the internet. Man, I really want a complex pie now. What are the best things to do? Ultimately, it depends on your cat, and get used to me saying that because a lot of this really does depend on your individual cat. Using play or clicker training are great options. Some cats may respond well to brushing or attention. I've already gone over why I don't recommend feeding your cats near each other or feeding them and then gradually moving the bowls closer to each other in previous videos, but I'm gonna bring that up again because it drives me nuts. In addition to not feeding them near each other, I also don't recommend just being a treat vending machine. Using those treats to teach them to do something specific, and I emphasize the something specific part of this, or play a pattern game with them is more valuable. I'll save the specifics of what to train them to do for another video, as it really depends on a lot of things and can be kind of complicated. But training helps the cats feel the world is more predictable and not scary. I don't read too much into if the cats are eating treats near each other or if they're eating near another cat, as it just means that they like the treats, not that they like the other cat. As mentioned earlier, this part involves gradually letting the cats spend more time seeing each other and keeping them engaged so they associate the other cat with good things and don't feel threatened by them, which is just as important. In order to do this correctly, you need to end the meetings before either cat becomes distressed. Unless you're a psychic, like my cat Professional Zachary, also known as Prozac, who works as a prophet, surgeon, computer computer programmer, trashy romance novelist, and quite honestly, a lot of other careers. He's a very hard-working cat. You can't predict when this is going to happen. So the simplest solution is to end things early. It's better to end things early than to let them drag on and the cats become sensitized or have a stronger reaction to each other. This part can take weeks depending on the cats. It will feel boring and repetitive. That's a good thing. If you're stuck, slow down or backtrack. Repeating something that isn't working over and over isn't suddenly going to make it work. You'll know you're ready to keep moving and start the process, yes, this is a process, of removing the gate between the cats so they can be in the same space supervised when the cats can ignore each other. That means no staring, no hissing, no growling. Hissing is probably the least concerning of those, but you still don't want to move on until the hissing subsides. Hissing is a defensive vocalization, kind of like the cat setting a boundary, some sort of hissy feline boundary. It means the hissing cat is uncomfortable, and you risk a fight if you keep moving. Don't focus on the cats going nose to nose or being super into each other. I know those videos where that happens, where the cats meet each other for the first time and they're like, oh hey bestie, are cute, but that's not the reality for most cat pairings. You want them to understand they can back off and focus on other things such as a favorite toy or you rather than each other if they become upset. Remember, cats coming into a cat's territory are threatening, especially to the resident cat. Ideally, they can see each other for several minutes at a time before you keep going. At this point, you still need to help them get along and keep them occupied. Don't just leave the gate up and let them see each other all day. You may miss staring or tension between the cats. This is ultimately kind of like a class in school where you're graded on performance, not attendance. Blindly going through the motions isn't gonna work. It just isn't gonna work. Now, sometimes that works out fine, and I'm really happy for the people that it worked out for, but I have a lot of clients that I've worked with who feel very differently because they've tried that and it doesn't end up working. Unfortunately, people are usually mystified when they just leave the gate up all day and then the cats get into a spat when they try having them in the same room as each other for the first time. They didn't do any actual teaching to the cats. One final very important consideration. This part isn't easy, and what specifically you need to do depends on your individual cats. If you're stuck, get professional help. I can't give you specific advice unless you're a client because I need a lot of information in order to not tell you the wrong thing. So having someone hear the details of your situation and help walk you through this will be incredibly valuable. It's worth it if you feel lost. Remember, you want the cats ignoring each other and no chaos or indicators of stress before moving on to the process I call melting the gate, where we gradually transition the gate away. I'll see you in the next video to go over that part. Poutine has something he would like to share with you. Oh, Poutine, you are so helpful. Poutine, you are so helpful.